ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति। ॐ सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। नारायणं पद्मभुवं वसिष्ठं शक्तिं च तत्पुत्रपराशरं च व्यासं शुकं गौडपादं महान्तं गोविन्दयोगीन्द्रमथास्य शिष्यं श्रीशङ्कराचार्यमथास्य पद्मपादं च हस्तामलकं च शिष्यं तं तोटकं पार्तिककारमन्यान् अस्मद्गुरून् सन्ततमानतोऽस्मि। समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम्। ॐ भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैः स्तुष्टुवागुंसस्तनूभिः व्यशेम देवहितं यदायुः स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति। Hari Om, salutations to all. So we are seeing the Mangalacharan shlokas that Bhagavan Shankaracharya ji has written before he starts the Sambandha Bhashya of the Mandukya Upanishad. So we will chant both these verses. प्रज्ञानां शुप्रतानैः स्थिरचरनिकर व्यापिभिर्व्याप्य लोकान् भुक्त्वा भोगान् स्थविष्ठान् पुनरपि धिषणोद् भासितान् कामजन्यान् पीत्वा सर्वान् विशेषान् स्वपिति मधुरभुङ् मायया भोजयन्नो मायासङ्ख्यातुरीयं परममृतमजं ब्रह्म यन्तन्नतोऽस्मि. So he says here, Brahmayat, that which is Brahman, Tat Natosmi, that Supreme Brahman, I prostrate. What is that Brahman? So the word Brahma means Brihatvat, that which is the biggest, that which is infinite. And Brahman is, one way of indicating Brahman is the substratum of the whole creation. Yato va imani bhutani jayante ye na jatani jivanti yat prayantyavi samvishanti ti tad brahma vijignyasasva. So Taittiriya Upanishad indicates Brahman in this way, that from which the entire creation emerges, or actually it is appearance of Brahman, not emergence. But there we are saying Jayante. So creation emerges from Brahman, stays in Brahman, goes back into Brahman. That substratum of the whole creation is called Brahman. And what is the nature of that substratum? Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. That's another indicating pointer in again Taittiriya Upanishad. So the nature of that is not some blank or just five elements. How science will say it is five elements. So one can say the Srishti rises in five elements, stays in five elements, goes back to five elements. But five elements themselves disappear. So the substratum from where all this rises, including the material cause and the intelligent cause of the universe, that substratum is Brahman. So Brahman is also indicated as Abhinna Nimitta Upadana Karan, where there is the material cause and the intelligent cause is the same. Like the dream example, the waker is the intelligent cause and waker's mind only is the material cause, which is appearing as the whole dream creator, the dream creation, and all the dream creatures. So that infinite cause of the Srishti, which appears as the Srishti, is Brahman. We are saluting that Brahman. And what is the way in which it is pointed? Prajnanamshu pratanaihi. It is pure knowledge, what we just saw, Satyam Jnanam Anantam. So it is Prajnanam. Prajnanamshu, that infinite source of the whole universe, is appearing in the form of all the jivas. Prajnanamshu, we saw last time, means that infinite consciousness identified with individual equipment and which is pervading all that which is inert and sentient. So body, mind, intellect of ours is different from each other, but the consciousness is one and the same. That Atma, that consciousness which pervades everything is that Brahman. So in the first shloka itself, that oneness is established, that Brahman is Atma. Atma is not one small little thing which is inside each jiva, which when the jiva dies will mix with Paramatma. This infinite consciousness only is appearing as the Atma, as the whole Srishti also, and that is what has become the Ishvara also. So Jiva, Jagat, Ishvara, all are appearance of one truth. Hence he says here, Prajnanamshu pratanaihi sthira chara nikara vyapibhir vyapya lokan. It pervades the whole Srishti. So we saw in that context, what is the way of pervasiveness here? It is not like the iron ball and the fire. There are two there. The example of iron ball and fire has a certain relevance in Vedanta, where mutual superimposition has happened. So in that context, we say that consciousness, which is infinite, appears finite, and the body, which is jada, appears chaitanya, as sentient. Like how the fire, which is formless, appears round because it has as though taken up the shape of the iron ball. An iron ball which is dark, hot, dark and cold and heavy now appears bright. It has temporarily assumed the identities of the fire. So anyonya adhyasa has happened. It is not that they have taken up actually each other's qualities. It is only superimposition of the qualities of one on the other. In the same way, consciousness and this. So it is not like the pervasiveness of the iron ball and the fire, that how fire pervades the iron ball, because there are two different things there. Here there are no two different things actually. Then we saw that it is not like the pervasiveness of the pot and the mud, because pot is the effect, mud is a material cause. By itself, the mud does not become the pot. An intelligent cause is required, and that intelligent cause in this context is a potter. So again, the causes are three different causes: potter, intelligent cause; pot, the mud, the material cause; the wheel, the instrumental cause. In context of Brahman, there are no different causes. It is one infinite truth, which has only become the material cause, the instrumental cause, the intelligent cause. So the pervasiveness of consciousness in the world is like the rope pervades the snake. So where we don't see that there are two different things in mud, pot, etc. Mud is different, only material cause. Pot is the effect. So cause and effect relationship is there. But here it is not two different things exclusive of each other. Rope and snake, in that there are no two. There is one which is appearing as something else. That is the example here of Brahman. So Brahman pervades the Srishti how? Like the rope pervades the snake. Rope pervades the snake. That rope only is appearing as the snake. Which means what? When he says this in that Mangalacharan, that Vyapibhir Vyapya Lokan. One meaning of Lokan is all the whole external Srishti. I should just say Srishti, not external. Just the Srishti. All these 14 lokas and Brahmanda and many Brahmandas, whatever one wants to consider, this whole Srishti is pervaded by consciousness. Because we see actually that there is sentiency, and that sentiency is not a product of five elements. There is one project called Mirror of Life project. Do the research on that Mirror of Life. They are trying to mix the five elements in a certain proportion to produce consciousness. That has not been successful. Trying, even if one does in a certain combination and produces so-called consciousness, that is not the consciousness that is explained here. Because anything that is produced will be perishable, is time bound, is changing already. And there is a witness of all that. That is the consciousness we are talking about. So, the whole Srishti is pervaded by sentiency. And that is not inside us only. That's what it is trying to say. There is one consciousness which is throbbing here and which is also pervading the whole Srishti. So Lokan means that in one sense, that how the snake appears as though is real, and then we forget, we don't even know that there is a rope. But through Viveka, that's why Vivek is required to separate what is Jada, what is Chetan, what is permanent, what is temporary. Because right now it has got mixed up. This body which is inert and sentiency which is there in this, we are thinking that's the quality of the body. Body is alive by itself. World is functioning on its own. Consciousness is a product of matter. All this is moha or delusion. This whole world is real, delusion. One has to wake up from that. How? By doing Vivek, by segregating what is temporary, what is permanent, Nitya and Anitya, what is Jad and what is Chetan, inert and sentient, and what is Atma and Anatma, what is the self and what is the not self. This Viveka is what needs to be done. And so when one understands this, that how the rope pervades the snake, when one has the vision of the rope, when one does the Viveka, Rajju Sarpa Nyaya, when one does separate, there is something else there. This appears real, but it is an illusion. It is not real. Why? Because what is real will remain unchanging in 3 periods of time. This is changing. Whole world is changing. Every single second. Time itself is change. So when one understands that, okay, this whole thing is changing, but there is one changeless truth that is aware of all these changes. That Vivek, when one does, then the delusion born of ignorance is destroyed. When one reflects more and more, one attains that knowledge of the self, contemplates on it, the delusion goes. And what is the delusion? That I am this body, I am the jiva, this is the condition of this BMI is my condition. If body is sick, I am sick. If body is healthy, I am healthy. Body is short, I am short. Mind is happy, I am happy. Mind is angry, I am angry. This full identification has happened. Just like we don't see the rope as separate, we think there's only snake and that is real. We see BMI and we don't see consciousness as though. So for us, this is real and its condition is my condition. That is delusion. So that sorrow which is born out of wrong identification, which is born out of delusion, can be removed only through right knowledge. It cannot be removed through any other form. Any amount of action will not remove. Any amount of success, achievement, name, fame, power, position is all within the realm of delusion. It cannot remove the delusion because it is wrong perception. Wrong perception can go only by right perception, by right knowledge. And that's why this knowledge is so important. So when he says that consciousness pervades the whole creation, all the lokas, this is the understanding. He will explain in the next two lines also, more next three lines also, more details. But the pervasiveness of consciousness, the more one thinks, it is not that one is thinking of consciousness pervading outside. It is pervading everything. Lokan includes this BMI also. It's not only it pervades all this Bhuloka up to Brahman, Brahma Loka and then down up to Patal Loka. No, Vyapibhir Vyapya Lokan. The second meaning of Lokan is the three states of consciousness, waking, dream, deep sleep. What we go through. Actually, technically, we should say what this goes through. This is only going through it. I am witness of it. This BMI is going through the waking, dream, deep sleep. That consciousness which pervades all the three states. That is that Brahman. That's what the shloka is saying. That consciousness which pervades all the three states. So Lokan, second meaning. Literally the word Loka comes from Lokyate iti Lokaha. That by which we see, or a field of experience is called as Loka. So waking is a field of experience. Then we go to dream. That's a field of experience or a level of consciousness, let us say. And further, deep sleep. So these are lokas in which one as though travels. If you see Tripurasura story, Shiv Puran is there, Bhagavatam it is there, where Tripura Bhagwan is called Tripurari. He is the destroyer of Tripurasuras. And the Tripurasuras had a boon that they can be killed once in 1,000 years when they all come together, where the three Puras, three cities made up of gold and silver and iron, when they come together with one arrow, they can be pierced and they can be destroyed only by Bhagwan Shiva. So the symbolism there is that the three Puras, what are the three Puras? The Jiva is going through the three Puras. Trisudhamasu yad bhogyam bhokta bhogascha yad bhavet. In all the three states, whatever is the experiencer, whatever is the experienced object, the experiencer, the experience, tebhyo vilakshana sakshi. This self is apart from all these, is the only the witness. Chinmatroham, of the nature of consciousness alone, Sada Shiva, or most auspicious. So one who understands this, okay, consciousness pervades the whole Srishti, means that there is only one truth. Everything else is an appearance of that. Waking, dream, deep sleep, they come and they go. The jiva as though travels in these three states. When they come together, when in one contemplation, when one is contemplating, I am that changeless consciousness. Interesting is in that story, Shivji uses, so Bhagwan Vishnu is the arrow. He becomes the arrow and Tripurasura is killed. What is the meaning of that? When one pervades, when one contemplates on all pervasive consciousness, Vishnu, Vyapakatvat Vishnu, that who is all pervasive everywhere. When one contemplates, consciousness alone pervades everything, which means that alone is. Rope pervades the snake, meaning what? Snake is illusory. Rope only is real. last time we saw, where the intelligent cause and the material cause come together, that creation has to be illusory. It is not real. The rope only is appearing as the snake. That example may have a limitation. The rope only is appearing as the snake. The snake has no independent existence. There are no two separate things there. When this knowledge arises through steady contemplation, one has woken up. Delusion has ended. So, rope and snake, once I see the rope, snake vision is gone. That's the limitation of that rope and snake example. But when we live in the world, it is not that when one realizes consciousness, one stops seeing the world. Through the equipment, one will still see the world. But one knows this is an appearance, this is not real. Like how we see the movie, we know what is happening is not really happening. It is just a projection on the screen. But those who get so identified with it, they will cry and they will laugh and they will feel the thrill and the excitement and everything. Those who watch it as observer, they know this is not happening actually there. So the idea here is to contemplate that consciousness which pervades the whole Srishti, that consciousness is Brahman and that is me. So now when he has given this three lokas now, he will explain in the next two lines the three states, that the word loka means Jagrat Loka, Swapna Loka, Sushupti Loka. And they are as though the abodes of Atma, where Atma stays as though. But that's a language expression. Atma doesn't stay. Atma is not an entity to stay inside something. It is that consciousness going through these three states. Upanishad itself will explain, but a little background. Many of you would have studied Vedanta, then you know. Consciousness identified with the individual body, the waking state, that consciousness is called Vishwa, the waker. Identified with the dream state, it is called Taijasa, the dreamer. And identified with the deep sleep state, it is called Prajna, the deep sleeper. And not identified with any of the three, it is Turiya, it is Brahman. It is the fourth state of consciousness as though. So now he is explaining this. What are the states now? So Jagrat, he says, Bhuktva Bhogan Sthavishtan. This much is the description of waking state. Bhuktva Bhogan Sthavishtan. That in the waking state, having enjoyed the objects, gross objects, Sthavishtan, Sthula. So the waking state is described as this, where we see through our senses, the mind goes out, we see and experience this whole universe of different things, Nama, Shabda, Sparsha, Nama, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha, all this. We see, hear, taste, smell, touch, whatever the objects, the name and the form and the qualities it has. So we eat, we smell, we listen to music, we touch, so many things that we do. All the sense engagements. See how interesting it is that even for us to experience the waking world, there has to be non-duality. If we actually think about it, non-duality is not some esoteric philosophy. Okay, only when you transcend the BMI, then you experience the Atma. That, of course, the prakriya is that to withdraw and one comes to realize. But even the waking state cannot happen without non-duality. Duality does not allow knowledge to arise. Non-duality alone is required for knowledge to arise. How? Vedanta says that the mind goes out through the senses, pervades the object, then the knowledge will arise. Till the mind doesn't become one with the object, in its identification, knowledge will not arise. For example, if I am seeing this computer, through the eyes, the mind has gone out, pervades that whole computer. The vritti will arise only when it pervades that computer. When it sees, okay, this is the form, this is the color, this is the reflecting property, it will become one with that. Then the vritti will arise. That vritti is the mind, that thought. And when that thought arises, then I recognize this is a computer. So it appears as though this computer is there out there, but the experience of that is happening here in the subtle body. And who is the experiencer? That Mr. So and so, that Vishwa, that waker is the experiencer. Same way we apply for all the other objects. When we eat food, then the mind through the tongue envelopes the food item, the taste, the vritti arises, then we recognize this is sweet, that is sour, this is bitter. Till that thought doesn't arise, we will not even experience. Which is why if somebody is in deep sleep, even if you bring some nice pakoda near them, the smell is coming, but they won't know. Many times it happens or not. Somebody is ringing the bell or alarm is ringing. Forget the bell. Alarm is ringing. One is in deep sleep. One is not aware only because the mind is not there. So it is so interesting that in the day-to-day life itself, every single act of perception proves existence of consciousness and non-duality. The distinction between mind, the knower, the known has to go for knowledge to arise. Meaning what? In a limited way, that is, but it is happening there. The knower is contacting the known, becoming one with the known, then the knowledge will arise. Hence, one is saying here that in the waking state, what is happening? We are experiencing through the senses this gross world of objects. But because of this process, as well as because of the limitation of our senses, this world appears thavishtha. It appears very gross, tangible, and real. Which means again, where our understanding of real is what I see is real, what I perceive is real. We may think this is solid, tangible, but it is only limitation of our senses. If we actually use whatever microscope and we go deep into it, it is all energy, matter. And where is that energy coming from inside that whatever atom, proton, neutron, electron, string, quarks, all that which we say? Science will have its own explanation. Vedanta is saying that is enlivened by Atma only. Is there only one consciousness which enlivens that, which quantum physics also is coming to now. So the gross world appears thavishtha, very, very real to us. And so because we think it is satyam, it is real, and it is there at all times, in the sense that at least I am experiencing it. I was asleep, I woke up, this computer is still there. So I think it is real. And then I'm able to utilize it. I have some benefit out of this. So it is, and it is able to give me some happiness. So satyatvam, sukhitvam makes me think this is real. Vedanta is saying it is not. That's a limitation of our senses. Color itself, there is the senses, they delude us so easily, they take us for a ride, but we don't realize. We depend on them and think what they show is real, and what they can't see doesn't exist. So many creatures in the world, their senses have their own limitation, like ours also have limitation. So we are able to see color, But so many creatures, they are color blind. They see the world in gray or in black white. Some can't see some specific colors. Interesting thing, if you see, the bull can see blue and yellow, it cannot see red. The bull doesn't know what is red color. But we think that the bull gets triggered by red color. For the lion, for the deer, the tiger doesn't appear as orange stripes, orange and black stripes. For the deer, the tiger's body has green color, which is why the tiger is able to easily camouflage itself in the grass. So senses have limitation, like our senses, beyond a certain range, it can't see, it can't hear, some 20,000 hertz or whatever it is, it can't hear beyond that. Ultrasound, it can't hear. Beyond a particular range, below a particular range, it can't see, hear. So senses have their own limitation. And to think that these senses, what we are seeing, this Jagrat world, this is the truth, that is delusion. From Mandukya Upanishad standpoint, Jagrat and Swapna, they are same level. For us, Jagrat is the stable state to which we return, and the dream and deep sleep are, we say, okay, dream is illusion only, not very real. But today, many people are doing dream analysis and doing so much of research on that. At one level, it has its importance because subconscious mind is revealed and all that. But we still know, okay, it is an illusory thing. We are not expecting anything from the dream world except this some analysis of subconscious mind. Concretely, we are not expecting anything. But what does Mandukya say? Waking and dream are same level. This waking world is as real as the dream world, which means both are illusory only. Why? Just like in the dream there's a whole projection, in this also there's a projection. So here one thing we should remember is that Mandukya Upanishad is a grantha which speaks about Eka Jivavad. Bahujivavad and Ekajivavad. And so Bahujivavad, Ekajivavad, Ajatavad. Three levels of progression in thought. Bahujivavad means there are many jivas. This world is real. There is a creator of this world. And the jiva is born in this world. The world exists apart from the jiva also. So one jiva is gone, doesn't mean the world is gone. The world continues. This is Bahujivavad, where the individual considers the world as separate and the creator as separate. And one thinks, I am born into this world. I have my past karmas because of which I am born. And I came here to exhaust certain karmas. And in that process, I am collecting new karmas. And I am going to experience some success, failure, happiness, sorrow. This is the life going on. We have to do, be good, do good, all that. And when we die, we will attain some Sadgati. And as per karma, again we will get some body. Sadgati, Durgati, whatever can happen as per my karma. And then again I will get the body. This is the understanding of Bahujivad. Mandukya Upanishad will dismiss that first, saying it is not real. How in the dream state, suppose you are going on the banks of Gangaji and there is one Sethji who is there. It could be anybody, I'm just giving an example. One Sethji is there, he has taken bath in the Ganga and he is come out and he is doing some dana punya also. And when you meet him, he says, I am doing this dan punya. I am blessed because of my purva janma karma that I am born in this world and I am able to have this human body. And I took bath in Gangaji. My sins of the past are washed away. And I am creating future punya karma by doing this dana. Now, in this whole thing, if you actually see that individual who is the dreamer, who is or identified with the dream character who is walking on the banks of Ganga, now that Sethji who is there, Ganga which is there, then the dip that he had done, then the people who are there, and the dan that he is doing, then the punya that is generated, then the past life good karma which was there, all this appears very real in the dream. But when that person wakes up and realizes, Karen, none of this existed. How real is that dream? It's an appearance which is there. But while it is there, it appears so tangible, real. And in the dream example, sometimes when one wakes up, one is for a moment not able to relate ki, where am I, who am I. Sometimes one has got up in a shock, physical palpitation happens. That's a limitation of the example, just to say that how real it appears. Same way, this world appears very, very real to us. But when a person wakes up, that is the third state, Ajatavad. Then one understands this was not real. So the dream example is the example for understanding Ekajivavad. When one understands that there is only one Jiva who is projecting this whole thing. The whole Srishti is a projection of this one Jiva. That's called Ekajivavad. Where the dream character appears to be one separate individual, separate from the dream world, separate from the dream creator. This is Bahujivad. But actually, who is the dream character? Who is the dream creator? The dream world and all the dream creatures is all projection of that one mind. The dreamer's mind is creating all this. And if that dreamer wakes up, dream world is gone. There's only one waker after that. That is Ekajivad. So when he says that Bhuktva Bhogan Sthavishtan, this is one indication that this world appears solid, tangible, real in the waking state. And in this very waking state, when we say Sthavishtan, it also means the Sthula is gross, tangible. Why does the world appear solid, tangible with us, to us? Because we are identified with this BMI, with this body. So 5 koshas, all are active in the waking state. The Annamaya kosha. So suppose we say the hand, example. In this hand, this flesh, bones, blood, whatever is making up this hand, this is the Annamaya kosha. It is a product of food that one has eaten. This Annamaya kosha is pervaded by Pranamaya kosha. So there is energy body, the vital energy. That prana is not oxygen. Prana is not air. Prana is a vital life-giving substance which is there in air, in oxygen, in water, in sunlight, in earth, in space. Pranas pervade all the 5 elements. So that energy, because of which now I can make this movement, I can bend my hand, open my hand, that vital energy is Pranamaya Kosha. The mind, when will I bend this and open this? When there is a desire, when there is a emotion, there is an ichha, then, okay, let me bend this, let me hold this, let me punch somebody, whatever one wants. There is an ichha, that is Manomaya Kosha. And there is an entity who has this ichha, who has many, many ichhas. One ichha is this: bend, hold, grasp, lift something, put somewhere. The jiva, the Mr. So and so, the entity who has this, the karta bhav which is there, bhokta bhav which is there, that is Vijnanamaya kosha. And through that one is gaining certain experience of happiness. Anandamaya kosha. These five koshas are active in the waking state. And through this identification of the Atma with these five koshas, one has become the jiva, then experiences the world. So this appears solid, tangible, real to us. You can apply that to three states also, three bodies also. Same five koshas are called, are classified as three bodies: gross body, subtle body, causal body, not casual body. People say gross body, subtle body, casual body. Array, it is causal body, the cause of these two, subtle body and gross body. So Annamaya kosha, gross body; Pranamaya, Manomaya, Vijnanamaya kosha, subtle body; Anandamaya kosha, causal body. All the three bodies, five states, the five koshas, they are functioning in this waking state, and identified with them, this thing appears very real to us. So bhuktva bhogan sthavishtan. And every experience that we have in this state is creating an impression in the mind. So every Saturday morning when we have Vedant class, Mandukya Upanishad class, it is creating an impression. Saturday morning, Mandukya Upanishad. Saturday morning, Mandukya Upanishad. This week, Saturday morning, no Mandukya Upanishad. Sunday morning, Mandukya Upanishad. So now one impression got created that there can be change in the class, so there can be sometimes Saturday or Sunday. Now every experience will create one impression in the waking state, which we many times are aware of, we are many times not aware of, but impression is getting created. So this whole process of identifying with the BMI, with the five koshas, with the three bodies, then seeing the world, then it appears very real, then the experience is happening where the mind is going out, becoming one with that object, then the impression is getting created through thought, through vasana. This whole thing is happening in the waking state. And because of this, we think this is real. And day after day, this is happening. In dream, I go and I go to deep sleep. I come back again to waking. Again, the same process is happening in the waking state. So one thinks it is very tangible and real. Mandukya Upanishad will say it is not. That it will explain also, that we will see as we go along. But the point to understand is that this Mandukya Upanishad is saying that you move first from Bahujivad to Ekajivad. To think that you are only this small one jiva and then this world is separate and this whole process is happening is delusion. More we study Mandukya, we will understand. At the moment, just understand this waking state, we think this is real, and so for us, this is the model of Bahujivad, where different jivas are there, different Ishvara is there, world is separate from me, and I am born inside this. From there, shift the perception to there is only one jiva. Why? Because if I go to sleep, from waking, if I go to dream, this waking world is gone. I don't experience. So for whom does that world exist? No, no, Samri, for others it exists. That is Bahujivad. Where are the others? In my dream, when I am dreaming everything, I have withdrawn from this waking state. For me, the others don't exist. The world doesn't exist. The creator of the world doesn't exist. And when I come out of that dream state, again I project the same. There is a theory of projection, Vivarta, appearance. So in Ekajivad it is said there is only this one jiva who is appearing as all the jivas, as all full jagat, as Ishvara also, and as Guru also, who will help you to come out of this delusion. Like the dream tiger helps a person to come out of dream state. That dream tiger also a projection of the dreamer's mind only. Ekajivad is not easy to accept. Huh? When we were studying, when this point came that Guru also is a projection of the mind of that Jiva, mind boggling. How Guru is projection of my mind? When I went and asked that to my teacher, how it can be like that? You are projection of my mind. He started laughing. He said, yes. Not so easy to accept, but that slowly, as we reflect it, we will come to that. This whole thing is happening because of my mind individually. Inside it is, inside again, there's inside, outside, but it is a projection that is happening. From many jivas to one jiva I have to come. And the nature of that jiva is what? Sachidananda. When that is realized, then Ekajiva is also gone. Whole Srishti gone. One sees only one truth. Like the waker has woken up, then the dream world gone. But of course, there's the limitation there of the example. A realized master is like a Jivan Mukta is like what? Having known that I am the waker, one has come into the dream and one is living in the dream world, knowing very well this is all expression of one divine truth. That's a Jivan Mukta. Shankaracharya ji or Gurudev or Mirabai or Andal or any of these great masters. So one doesn't have to think, oh God, what will happen? No. One will realize the truth. Prarabdha of the BMI will still go on. And at one point it will drop. And so, Ekajivad is in the thinking. Bahujivad also is here in our thought process only. That makes us think that this is different. From there, I have to shift my thought process to there is one truth, which is, there is one Jiva who is projecting all this. And for that Jiva, so it is this Jiva who is going through waking state, thinking this is very real. So, Bhuktva Bhogan Stavishtan. Then that Jiva, having experienced this waking state, collected impressions, then what it will do? See, the shloka is saying, Punarapi Dhishanodbhasitan Kamajanyan. Punarapi means once again. Once again meaning what? Already the Jiva was projecting. That's what that Punarapi word means. That this is a projection. Having gone through the waking state, collected impressions in that, Punarapi, once again, what does this Jiva do? Dhishanodbhasitan. See, Dhishanodbhasitan means the projection of the mind. Kamajanyan. Illumined by the buddhi and its own impressions. Kama here means the impressions it has collected in the waking state. It will project the objects. Punarapi. Once again it will project. Meaning the first one also was projection. So how the dream is a projection, same way waking also is a projection. That's how Mandukya brings waking and dream in one level. It doesn't say three level. Waking state, then dream state, then deep sleep state. It will tell the three states, no doubt. But at reality level, it sees the same. Both these are illusory reality, waking and dream. And that's why Punarapi, once again it is projecting. So what to do, Swamiji? Should we not have we have ambition, we have goals, we have duties. In waking state, in dream we don't have. So what? If these are equal means we should not have any of these. Know that this is illusory, within the realm of illusion. Like how in the dream also one has ambition, this, that, everything is one is, but that is happening in a natural way. It is not consciously done. That's the natural process, the limitation of that example. Nature has conditioned us that impressions are projected, mind is emptied, so that one is ready for waking state. But when one is doing all that, that dream also is real. No? Same way this is also real, relatively. So continue to do the duties and work and ambition, but deep down know that this is one projection happening. When we say projection, we start thinking of control. If I am projecting all this, then why can't I control life, Swamiji? Why can't I ensure that people behave the way I want them to behave? Why can't I get the object of my desire? Because it's all my projection. My projection there, my is not one small jiva only. That my is projecting the whole thing. So that other person is not behaving as the way you want to behave is also your projection only. You are only making that person talk like that, behave like that. Again, there you are saying we are asking question from duality standpoint. So there is a that other person is different, and then now that person has independently it's their own vyavahara, and then I am not able to control that person. It has Bahujivad base only. That's why this question is also coming. In the dream, the tiger is ferocious and the saint is very sattvic. Is both projection of the dreamer's mind only or not? Now, if that saint says, why can't I control that tiger? If this was a projection, why can't I control that tiger? Areva, just because you are not able to control that tiger doesn't mean this is not your projection, because you are identifying with only one little dream character at that point in time. If you lift, then you will know, this is fully my projection only. So even as a Ekajiva, when the whole projection is happening, I am not identifying myself with that entity who is projecting. I am identifying myself with one character in that projection. Again, I am coming to Bahujivad only then. So that's why it takes some time to reflect more and understand, but it's very fascinating. Once we understand this whole thing is only a projection. And I am the projecting entity. And that nature of that entity is Atma, is infinite consciousness. So, Punarapi Dhishanodbhasitan Kamajanyan. So now we come to dream state. What is the dream state? In that the five koshas are not functioning, all the five. Annamaya, I am not aware of. It is there. Pranamaya is also functioning. But I am not aware of this Annamaya and Pranamaya consciously. But Pranamaya is going on. That's why the digestion happens and assimilation, all that happens. We to eat happily and go to sleep. Who is taking care of all that? Pranamaya kosha is doing. Prana is empowered by consciousness. It's going on doing this work of maintaining this body. Breathing is happening, assimilation, digestion, all that. But I am not consciously aware of that. Then is Vijnanamaya kosha active? Yes. How? Not as how we use logic and rationality and that way, but even in the dream there are decisions being made. There's a dream karta bhav which is there. And Manomaya kosha also is active. So the mind using the impressions gathered in the waking is projecting the dream. Jagrad avasthayam yadyat shrutam drashtam, all that which is seen, what is heard, that it in a random mixture is being projected. So we say many times that the intellect is not active in the dream. In what sense? This logical buddhi that we have now, this cause and effect, that is not active there. Which is why random projections can happen. Suppose you see a monkey, you have seen Bharatnatyam dance and you know you love popcorn. Now in the dream you will see that monkey is eating popcorn while doing Bharatnatyam. All random mixture will happen. It is emptying process. Just from Vedanta standpoint, psychology may say many other things for subconscious mind and all that, but for Vedanta standpoint, it is just emptying process. And mind becomes ready for waking state, and Vedanta standpoint it is also to show it is illusion. So dream state is the projection based on the impressions collected in the waking state and create the whole dream world. Punarapi dhishanad bhasitan kamajanyan. The whole projection will happen of this dream world. Two koshas are active. Manomay Kosh, Vijnanamay Kosh, most active. Others are functioning but in a dormant way. Anandamay also is active in the sense that dream Ananda one will get. If you eat dream ice cream, you feel dream Anand, some joy you get in that dream. So the dream state. So the same Atma which is pervading this whole Srishti has become the Jagrat, the waker, and goes through the waking experiences, collects impressions, then goes through the dream. In that dream, this projection is happening based on the impression that it has collected. And the dream world, the example given here is also to understand. See, for us, dream appears very, very real and long also many times. But what does psychology say? Actually, the dream is continuously one can't dream. It's not that I had some 2 3 hours of dream. 3 minutes, 5 minutes, longest dream is that much. Then again there's a break, again there's another dream. So it goes on projecting like that based on the impressions. Now, when one understands this, what is the point to understand here? That one consciousness is going through this, okay? That one consciousness has become the waker, now has become the dreamer. And now from that dream state, it is going into deep sleep state. So it says, Pitva Sarvan Visheshan, having drunk, all the differences are gone. Pitva Sarvan Visheshan, Swapiti Madhurabhum, sleeps, enjoying bliss as though. Swapiti Madhurabhum. And all this is happening how? Mayaya Bhojayanno. It is by Maya this is happening. So three states are described. Now in the deep sleep state, what happens? The distinction, like what in the dream state and waking state, the distinction which is there, no? That there's an experiencer, then there's a experienced, and then the experience happening. How it is happening in the waking, same way it is happening in the dream also. Which is why Mandukya says both are same only. They are not different. Only this appears solid, real to us because of Karya Karana, cause and effect and logic. So we think this is very real, but otherwise it is not. This distinction of the Triputi, experiencer, experienced, and experience, this distinction is not there. That's what it says, Pitva Sarvan Visheshan. All distinctions are gone in that state. Nobody can say, I slept, I am in deep sleep right now. Because that I has become dormant, that small I has become dormant. So the entity who was the waker is not the entity who is the dreamer, is not the entity who is the deep sleeper. Meaning consciousness identified with BMI is the waker, with only the mind and intellect, which is dream intellect, not the waking one. Then that is the dream state, which is Taijasa, the dreamer. And then the deep sleeper, where there is no waker entity, dream entity, where there is no Jiva Bhav, where there is no Jagat experienced, where there is no Ishvara obviously, then what is there? One is closest to the Atma. Memory is recording absence of everything. And being closest to the Atma, there is great joy. So it is said, Swapiti Madhura Bhung. He sleeps, enjoys the bliss. What bliss is that? It is the absence of all agitations. The Gurudev used to say, mischief maker is not there. The child who is very naughty, does so much of, ruckus in the house. When that fellow is sleeping, so much param shanti in the house. Why? The child is sleeping. The moment that fellow wakes up, brings the whole house down. Same thing. The mischief maker, our mind, dormant. and one is closest to the Atma, only the veil of ignorance is there. So the experience of deep sleep of everybody will be same. That one slept like a log, one did not know anything, and one experienced great happiness, which is why people want to go to deep sleep. Waking dream experiences of ours are different from each other. Now, what does Vedant say here? Pitva sarvan visheshan swapiti madhura bhum. Happily, this entity is sleeping in the deep sleep. But all this is happening how? Mayaya bhojayanno. It is happening by Maya. It is only illusory. It is not real. All the three states. More of this we will take up in our next class. For today, we have covered three states. Now, what is the truth which is beyond the three, and what is the nature of that? All that we take up in our next class, which will again be on Saturday. Only today it was. For this week, we are doing it on this Sunday today. All right. Any questions?
Namaste, Swamiji. In that Bhuktva Bhogan Stavishtan, which describes the waking state, you say that the mind goes through the sense organs and pervades the object. Now, if the mind is also not the reality, what actually goes through the sense organs? It is probably, I don't know, I'm guessing consciousness.
Correct. So
Okay.
consciousness only enlivening the mind, rides on the mind, goes out through the senses, pervades, and that's how the what we call the experience happens.
Yeah, okay. And the second question is, you're talking about the waking and the dream state. Now, why do we give more reality to the waking state? Only because it is more useful to us? That is the only
Why?
criteria?
Not only one, that is one criteria, because the utility value it has. Second is because we keep coming back to the same reality. No, that's why we think it is real. I wake up, I go to bed in the same room, and in the same room I wake up again. Same people again I meet. So there is a certain level of consistency, familiarity, consistency, and functioning of logic. Dream is illogical projection to it. There is no, here there's cause and effect functioning. If I sow a seed, mango seed, only mango tree will come. In dream, anything can come.
Okay.
So logic functions, consistency is there, and I see the result. Na karma gives karma phala, that is cause and effect. So then for me this is very real. Plus utility value, what you said. So all this put together makes it appear very real.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yes, Shubhangi ji.
Yeah. Hari Om Swamiji. While explaining this Brahman, you said Bruhatvad Brahman, that which is biggest. Second, Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahman, Brahman, that is which is true knowledge and infinite. Okay. And third, you said Abhidnyam and Anityam.
अभिन्न निमित्त उपादान कारण.
Abhinna Nimitta
उपादान कारण. निमित्त
Upadhan.
the mana the
Upadan.
upadan.
Huh.
So abhinna means non-differentiated. Nimitta karan is intelligent cause. Upadan is the material cause. So non-differentiated, intelligent, material cause is Brahman. Where the material cause and the intelligent cause is the same, not different. That is called Brahman.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much.
Aloha.
Hari Om.
So when a person is in the waking state, experiencing pain or experiencing something in the body, and to them that is real, that's happening. So what you're saying is that's an illusion. It's not really happening. I'm just
From a higher
clarifying.
standpoint.
I'm sorry, what?
From a higher standpoint.
Oh, from a higher standpoint. But in the body it's happening.
Yes.
Correct?
Yeah, in the body it is happening, but it is experienced by the mind. And if somebody is able to lift their mind away from it, then they will not experience it. Which is what happens in chloroform. Now, when the body is injected with chloroform, when one is in a state of uh, unconsciousness, then they are doing operation on the body. The pain is not felt by the body. Why? Because the mind for some time has been disassociated through that medical intervention. Then one is not feeling that. Through yogic practices, through sadhana, etc., one is able to develop that perception, that detachment. Then, yes, there will be pain and one may do something, but one will not say, I am going through that.
So I have another question. So someone with Alzheimer's, what state would they be in? Not the waking.
They are identified in the waking state only, just that the brain is not having a certain optimum way of functioning and it is gone through some form of degeneration. But it is.
But it's not identifying with others, right? I mean, because the
Yeah.
memory is.
So memories are not functioning. So the structure of the brain, whatever the physical deterioration has happened because of which certain limitations the person is experiencing, but it is a waking state only. And they have not done any conscious attempt to, not remember or go beyond this state. It is a physical condition. Just like this body is healthy right now, it is in a disease state. Like that, the brain is in a healthy state and degenerated state. It is gross level only, the waking state.
Thank you very much. Abba.
Hariom Swamiji. So I had this question. When you say Bhuktva Bhogan, that refers to the Jagrata Avastha.
Yes, that is Jagrata Avastha.
Okay. And I understood initially that the Pitva Sarvan Visheshan refers to the Swapna Avastha, but does it mean?
That is the deep sleep state. Pitva Sarvan Visheshan Swapiti Madhura Bhung. That much is deep sleep state.
Okay, that much is deep sleep state. Okay. All the distinctions are dissolved. That's what the Pitva actually means.
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
I gave last time the word to word meaning also. So that also can help to clarify if you want to see that.
Yeah, sure. Thank you.
Yeah.
Hariom Swamiji. So Swamiji, in one of the answers to the questions, you said that the waking appears to be real because we are seeing karma phala, and we experience that. So that means this karma phala is also illusion?
From illusion standpoint, it is. From higher standpoint, it is illusory. Which karma, what karma phala, who is karta? Karta only is illusory. So kiska karma, kya karma phal? But for that one has to come to that state to realize that karta is illusory. We think karta is real, and then we do karma, and then to escape from karma we say no, ये सब illusory है. The who is saying that entity has to know that this entity itself is illusory, and that experience has to happen now. From the waker's standpoint, the dream karma, the dream future, the dream past is illusory or not? Waker's standpoint. So
okay.
it is from a higher standpoint where it cannot be used to escape from karmic bondage. Till one doesn't come to the state of realization, karmic bondage is real, which is why one is putting the effort to get out of it. No.
Okay, so once a person is realized, then we say that's why the sense of doership is not there. And okay, got it. Related.
Right.
Okay, thank you.
Hariom Swamiji, just like the dream is an emptying process and the mind becomes ready for the waking state, Is the waking state also an emptying process to reach Turiya, to
In
become
one way,
ready for Turiya?
yeah, in one way we can say that if we use it like that. See, interesting question, nice you brought out. Dream state naturally is an emptying process because nature has given that mechanism where you empty your collected impressions, and that's why we are ready for the next day or the next whatever our experience has to be. But in the waking state, also, scriptures are saying it's an emptying process. You came here to exhaust karma. So if my karma bank is 2 lakh, I came here to exhaust 20,000 karma. So it's an emptying process of karma bank. But and it is happening like that in all the other yonis. All bhoga yonis, they are not creating new karma. They are exhausting their karma. Human being is while doing it because one doesn't know how to act properly and one acts with ego and egocentric desires, one is adding. So while that 20,000 is exhausting, I'm collecting another 40,000. So it is not functioning as an emptying process. Karma Yoga, if I practice, then it will become emptying process. Then existing vasanas get exhausted, new vasanas are not getting created, and then the mind will go towards contemplation, and then finally one will exit.
Thank you so much.
Pranam Swamiji. I'm Shilpa Joshi. Today I'm able to ask the question. Swamiji, I want to know two things. When we disdain the body, we are saying I'm not the body. There are two things said. Durlabham trayame vaita daiva devanugrahakam manushyatvam mumukshatvam mahapurusha samshaya. So here manushyatvam, for that the body we need as sharira madhyam khalu dharma sadhanam. Being in the body, if one arrives at the knowledge that he is not the body, but expressing through it, will the body presence help him to transcend, this fetter of the Maya? So is body, I mean, we have to consider and give importance as an instrument to it.
Of course, that we discussed in the Shanti Mantra also. That's why they are saying Sthira Ranga is Tushtuva Sastanubihi, all that. But
Yes,
what you said is like that. It has to be like an instrument. That is not me. This pen is an instrument. I am not the pen. Na? But today I am thinking I am the pen. That's how I am functioning. I am the body. So use the body, maintain the body, do sadhana with it, realize I am not the body.
Yes. Thank you, Swamiji. And one more thing I wanted to ask, that in dream, our personality, suppose we see ourselves in the dream state in Tejas, then there is that ego in that Tejas state also, no? It will be different from the ego which will be in the aware state. The ego as I will be there in the dream state.
Yes, so that dream state mein the waking ego as Mr. So and so can also be there, and one can take up some other identities also, na? Because so many things are being projected in the dream. They all have one's own projection, one's own mind. So I am doing both. I am being this Mr. So and so also, and then I am doing other identification with other identities also. This is all my mind's projection only.
So when the dream is over, that projected ego which is in the dream state will disappear with the dream.
Correct. But that Mr. So and so who is thinking of oneself as this entity in the waking, who has then gone to dream, that entity is coming back now here.
Yes.
The projected identities are going, but the projector who is projecting, that is not going. That
will continue to be in the waking.
Is continuing, and that will go only when the waking identification goes away. When the dream state identification is gone, dream identities are disappearing. But waking identities will continue till the negation of the waking identity happens in the waking state.
Thank you, Swamiji, so much for the clarification. Thank you.
Last question for today, then we'll take up next week if you have any. Yeah.
Hari Om Swamiji, so person who has realized all his karmas, the sanchit karma, this life's karma, everything gets wiped out?
Yes.
There's no karma left then. Okay. Thank you, Swamiji.
Hari Om. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.